Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and we have the technically not third sneak peek, but it's sort of the new sneak peek for the upcoming February update. It also confirms that we will be having a stream. Now, of course, due to coronavirus and stay at home and work from home, stuff like that, the live streams are still and have been for a while not actually live. So they say here the update live stream or the update stream will be a pre-recorded broadcast instead of a live stream. That's totally fine. You'll still be able to get your rewards, but here is the sort of sneak peek in question. We get our first official look at the in-game character models for both Gambit and Cable, and I gotta say, people are gonna have a lot to say. I think they both look dope, personally. Obviously, I lean more towards Gambit, but you know what? If you ask me, any iteration of Cable versus any iteration of Gambit, and I would prefer Gambit. I just think Gambit looks like a badass. Cable, to me, just looks like a generic sort of future soldier. I've never been a big fan of Cable's design, and if I had to choose a Marvel character, an X-Men, a mutant who had one glowing eye, I would choose Bishop. Or I would choose other options. Cable's not the first one that comes to mind for me, but I know a lot of you guys are upset about, or not upset, you don't like the Cable look. Additionally, love that word, some people think that this is not Cable. I had a lengthy discussion on the stream, so I wanted to try and put these rumors or these questions to rest, to bed right here. So this is Nate Gray, who looks very similar to Cable. He is X-Man. He's not Cable, he's X-Man. That's literally his nickname. He's got a tattoo. He's got an X symbol tattoo here. Very, very similar to Cable, especially with the hair. The hair is especially similar to what Cable looks like now. You've got brown or dark brown, black, and then you've got white in the middle, kind of like a skunk, and then you've got the one eye. The big difference is there's no scar. Cable has a massive, massive scar. As you can see, it's like a scar around his other eye, whereas Nate does not have that at all. Here's another look at Nate. Again, he's got the hair, 100% check. He's got the blood, 100% check. He's a Summers. He's got the blood, he's got the eye, but he does not have the scar. Now, these are going to be spoilers for X of Swords, or 10 of Swords. I don't know how you pronounce it, but this is going to be spoilers for comics that have come out recently, like in the last couple of years, because of what happened to Cable. But basically, for those of you that don't like this look, I want you to keep in mind that this is straight out of the comics. Now, of course, the facial models and all that stuff is never 100% accurate to the comics, but they're basically getting it as close as they can. So there you go. You got the star. I'm gonna say tattoo. The star scar on his eye. You've got the other eye, and you've got the hair. And he's surrounded by happy and angry blondes. There you go. And he's got this sword. Now, this sword hopefully will appear in some of his skills, but I think the new Cable, Kid Cable, Teenage Cable, he's pretty cool. He's pretty unique, and he ties into the X of Swords storyline. And this is another look at Cable, and I chose this one in particular because you can see our friendly neighborhood Deadpool in the back. And honestly, after the Gambit sneak peek, after all of the digging that we did to maybe connect Polaris and Cannonball and Boom Boom and Sunspot and now Cable, people forgot about Deadpool. They're like, we knew it was a mutant update, but Deadpool doesn't really ring out as a mutant to us, at least not to me and lots of other people. I completely forgot that this update started with, hey guys, let's celebrate Deadpool's 30th anniversary, because now you tell everybody, hey guys, we're giving you a new Gambit uniform and a Gambit Awakening, and everyone loses their freaking minds because he's awesome. Because Gambit's awesome. So what does this mean for Cable? Well, it means he's getting a new uniform. It means that those of you who did not buy the Summer Days uniform probably saved yourself. You probably lucked out. You probably saved yourself 1,750 crystals. For those of you that didn't, hey, you still got to use a super busted, basically tier 3 level power Cable for the last 7 months, because this uniform is so good. 3 Cables in Galactus can beat it in 10 seconds. That's how powerful this uniform is. That also means that if the new uniform is going to be a power creep, if the new Cable uniform is going to be better than this one, we are in for some insane power levels. Now, on top of that, the question has to be asked, what is Cable going to be getting besides this uniform? Now, there's a very high likelihood that he gets his tier 3 or possibly an Awakening. Now, it's unlikely he gets an Awakening in my personal opinion, because we only have one native tier 2 Awakening character so far, and that is Beta Ray Bill. It's very rare to see. I mean, we've only had Awakening in the game for a year, but they've had plenty of chances, right? They've been awakening 3 characters per update. They could have hit more native tier 2s, and they haven't, right? We talked about the Black Order maybe getting Awakening. That never happened. So, you know, it's possible that he gets an Awakening along with Gambit. We would have 2 Blast Awakenings and 2 Blast Uniforms, but it's unlikely. I would guess, if I had to guess, it's probably about a 75% chance that Cable gets a tier 3. Very, very high likelihood. The good thing about Cable getting a tier 3 here and Gambit getting an Awakening, although they're both Blast types, is that you don't need Blast books. You don't need any Titan records at all for Awakening. All you gotta do is play Squad Battle. It's super duper easy, and the rewards for Squad Battle are amazing now. They buffed the rewards a couple months ago. The rewards for Squad Battle now are just fantastic. So do not miss out on the opportunity to awaken Gambit. Start hitting up Squad Battle now. Even if you're just getting the absolute minimum, which is 800,000 per day, per fight or whatever here, right? Just aim to get those 3 rewards right there. And honestly, if you have a bunch of these stacked up, or if you just get enough of them, because you can get up to 19 per day just by playing, just playing and getting like whatever score. I mean, 19 in Vibranium, but like you can get 10 or 12 in your league, and then you could still get 40. So you could honestly aim for 300,000, which is very little. Just make sure you're using characters that are level 70. That's the one big tip for Squad Battle. If you're not using level 70 characters, your damage is going to be poo-poo. So yeah, definitely use level 70 characters. But like I was saying, about a 75% chance that Cable gets a tier 3. If he doesn't get a tier 3, there is a possibility that he gets nothing. It's unlikely, but I just want to throw it out there. Blade got a uniform and nothing else. Kamala Khan got a uniform and nothing else. Green Goblin got a uniform and nothing else. So at this point in time in Marvel Future Fight, we are literally open to all potential options for all characters and all uniforms. I like the fact that it's harder to predict and it's easier to speculate, because there's more options abound. Obviously, we might want new characters, but for example, last update was the first update in like almost 2 years where we had no new characters. And you know what? Thus far, with the sneak peeks we've seen, there are no new characters. So there's a possibility, as much as we want Havoc, as much as we want Polaris and all these other mutants, there is technically a possibility that this update will also not feature any brand new characters. And some of you might like that, some of you might not like that. I'm just throwing that out there. So there's a possibility that he gets just a uniform. He gets a uniform in an Awakening. He gets a uniform in a tier 3. Or we get new characters. We don't get new characters. There's multiple different ways that this can go down. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, and I'll be interested to see what you guys have to say, because besides the aesthetic look of Cable, it'll be interesting to see how many of you guys want Cable to be strong. I personally don't really care, but they are pushing 2 leaderships now back to back with Ignore Dodge. So they are hinting heavily that you should use these characters against Null, because both Cable and Gambit have that leadership, that exact same leadership. It's no coincidence there. So, if they're not supposed to be really good against Null, then I'm gonna boil a shoe and I'm gonna eat it, because they should definitely be very, very good for Null. And Gambit especially, because he already has insane burst damage, and now he's gonna have an Awakening skill on top of that, which means kind of like Moonstone, you're just gonna be able to slam all that damage in right at the beginning of the fight. So it's gonna make him a really good entry level option, I think. Again, I'm speculating here, but it seems like he'll be a good entry level clear for Null, for people who are maybe having a difficult time. They don't want to throw down 6,600 crystals for Moonstone. They don't have the CCF to tier 3 Sharon Rogers, right? If you look at those 2, or you look at those 3 characters, right? You compare Gambit, Sharon Rogers, and Moonstone. Gambit is by far the cheapest one to max out for Null. All you have to do is play a little bit of RNG with getting his bios here, or you reduce your RNG and you have twice as many chances getting his bios here. Obviously, it's less consistent than Moonstone or Sharon, but it's way, way cheaper, right? Way cheaper than Sharon, because it's an Awakening character. Don't need any books, don't need nearly as much CCF. And then it's way cheaper than Moonstone because you don't need any crystals. Well, you need crystals for the uniforms. You need 1,000 crystals versus, 5,000 after the refund for Moonstone. So yeah, that is what we know so far. I'm really excited to see the live stream. I actually kind of missed Cage and Kim. We didn't get to see them last time for the Dark Avengers update. There's no stream for that. So hopefully they'll be doing well. Hopefully they had a good New Year and stuff like that, and they're ready to get back into it and show us what's going on in Marvel Future Fight. Hopefully you guys can check it out on the stream with us on Twitch or watch on their YouTube page. It doesn't matter anymore where you watch it because of the way that they do the rewards. You just have to copy you just have to read this down here. Copy your ID and then put it into the Google spreadsheet that they share, or the Google form that they share after the live stream. So you don't even have to actually watch the live stream at all, right? If you're at work, busy, at school, whatever, you can still claim those rewards there. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of Cable's Summer Days uniform being replaced. Do you like scrawny teenager Cable, or did you want buff macho Cable? Even though Cable's rocking out with 6 blondes in that or 5 blondes in that comic book cover. And yeah, let me know what you guys think of Gambit. They pulled it right from the Excalibur issues that I have to make a video on very, very soon. Thank you guys so much for those likes, by the way. So I'm really excited to see how he looks in game, because that looks absolutely sick. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.